right, it's no surprise, in the SedgeTool shop, I love measuring instruments. But today, I finally get to cover my favorite, and it's right here, so stay tuned. So before we get started, why a folding ruler is my favorite. I want to let you know I have kind of an obsession of collecting folding rulers. I've been doing it my entire life. I just love them, from old Stanleys to Lufkins to everything. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to break it down between rulers and folding rulers, and we'll go from there. So let's see how this evolved for me. In school, growing up, I would measure pieces of anything with a regular ruler, whether it was plastic or steel, and I would measure like this. But I always considered this, finding that edge right here with my finger, because I always say this is my best feeler gauge right here, because I actually feel with it. I can actually get accuracy with it. So this one here, this steel rule, always lived on my table saw fence, because when I'm setting up machinery, I use this, or did. It still lives there, and I can set my fence with this. It's perfect. So I evolved. I went from steel rules, but what I started to do is start measuring with tape measures, okay? And for longer runs, okay, a steel rule doesn't fit in my pocket. And I wanted the accuracy of a ruler, because on a tape measure, sometimes on other ones, not this one, this little tab right here has a little inaccuracy, especially when measuring inside. So that's why I went to a folding rule. I have that accuracy that I can find right here, and I can do long distances with this, and it sits flat on the table just like that. So that's how it evolved, and this is my go-to measuring device, because guess what? It fits right here in the pocket on the side of my carpenter's pants or shorts. So that is why I prefer to use a folding rule. Okay, let's see if I get this right, because over the years I've told everybody about folding rules, and Stabila invented it. But then people would come back and say, no, it was a Swedish company called Hultafors. Well, I did a little bit of research, and hopefully I get this right. In 1851, Anton Ulrich filed a patent and was awarded the patent for the folding rule. Aha, 1851. So that means a lot, because Anton Ulrich started Stabila, and they patented also in 1889 this joint in here, a spring-loaded joint for the folding ruler. But in 1883 in Sweden, there was another company. It was called Hultafors, and they have a similar design, but they, in 1883, were the first, I believe, to start full-scale manufacturing of the folding rule. So whoever it is, I will tell you, my two favorite folding rules have always been Stabila and Hultafors, and they're super accurate. So another thing that I always look for in a folding ruler now is the dual scale. And when I say dual scale, one side is metric and one side is imperial. It just really helps flip-flopping back and forth. When someone's talking to me in imperial, I can read it in metric. Another great feature about a folding rule is, as I break it out like this, and I put my finger here and I feel the exact edge, I can bring it over here, and look how it lays flat. And I can read that exactly the way I want it, and I can bring my pencil in and make my mark exactly where I want it, and it's very stable. It lays flat like that. So some of the other folding rulers out there have other patents, and it's really neat to have in your collection, because look how this folds out and comes out like this. All right, so there are all kinds made out of boxwood and brass. We have something like this where there's a knuckle here. There's an internal scale right here for interior measurements. It's wonderful. We also have smaller versions. We have them made out of ivory as well. Different lengths, different options to have. And look at this one. This is a very, very nice old Stanley. So there you go. So here's a couple of really unique folding rules that I have. This one is called Interlocks. It was by Master Rule Company. And you'll notice how it comes out like this. That's how it extends and folds up. This one is by Lufkin. And this is the one I hear all the time that it is, and it's still made today, where it has this piece. So if I'm doing an interior measurement, I can get that interior measurement. I can butt this against the part, and it's the part. And that slides right back in. And it still uses that locking spring-loaded feature. So you'll see in some of the older folding rules, and still today, they're made out of wood, usually boxwood. And you also have to understand that these have a wear value in those knuckles. Now this one's made out of plastic. And when I say the knuckles, the folding part of it. We look around, people have used them for advertising. I have a bunch of them that I collect that are from lumber yards. And there's a few things I want to talk about here. My go-to, I've said this a couple times in the video, is this Hultafors one. Because it's made out of stainless steel. And it always lives, first thing I do in the morning is I tuck it into my carpenter's pants or shorts like that. Okay, but you're gonna see, and my buddy got this for me over in England. This is an old stainless steel one, and this is all in metric, but you can see over time it wears out. Also, the wooden ones and even the plastic ones break. But here's what you shouldn't do when that happens. Throw them away, because this one broke, okay? It just happens. But guess what I have? I have a smaller ruler now that I just tuck back here for quick measurements when I need it. And this is still good because from the other end, I can still measure quite a distance. Don't throw them away. They're fantastic. And this one's all made out of wood. And you do have the imperial scale here and a metric scale here. The plastic ones, yeah, they break. So what? I just got a shorter folding ruler. Don't ever throw them away. And you can always save those pieces that break off, is what I'm getting at. So hopefully you can see why a folding rule is number one for me in the Sedge tool shop. So as we always say to end this, be positive, stay sharp, and I mean, you ready? Wait for it. Wicked sharp.